Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So what we're actually doing in this video is actually installing Swisstrax Treadware. Now, if you have a steep incline or a steep entrance into your garage, this stuff is great. Now, the edges that you do get from Swisstrax do help. It makes the transition a little bit smoother, but there's still a pretty deep drop off, at least for me. So when I'm pulling in, especially with the STI and it being manual, you know, it gets really jarring. Sometimes you hit it at the wrong way and it bounces back, and it's not the most comfortable and natural incline or natural entrance into the garage. So Swisstrax actually has this product called Treadware. It's literally just diamond plate. So you can see on the bottom, it just normally comes in this chrome color, but you can get it with this kind of scratchy, tough black powder coating, which I actually prefer since that kind of is the theme with my garage, the black and the gray, and it's just really clean. I prefer the black coating overall. It looks really nice, and I'm really happy with it. So as you can see, there's no holes or anything like that. It's literally just a complete custom install. I have a 13-foot wide door, so I needed 3 of these. I'm going to have to cut one of them on this side. But otherwise, depending on your garage entrance or what you're using this application for, you can get as many pieces that you need, but mine's a 13-foot door. I'm going to need just under 3 pieces of this. Now, you only notice there's 2 pieces here. I've actually already installed one over here just so I can get a feel for it. Now, I actually started this last weekend. I ended up stopping because the main reason was I didn't have the proper tools. You need proper concrete drill bits, and I ended up also picking up a hammer drill. I was just using a normal DeWalt drill, and just drilling out the concrete for the concrete anchors was taking forever. It literally took me like 2 hours just to drill 2 holes. So I ended up getting the right tools and the right products to get this job done, and ended up picking up a nice Milwaukee M12 fuel hammer drill. This thing is amazing. I tried it out on the piece that's already on the garage right now, and I was able to drill like 3 holes in 30 seconds. It hardly took any time at all. And I'm using this one just to drill the initial hole into the actual treadware and through the Swisstrax, and this is actually drilling into the concrete. I also picked up some proper concrete drill bits. These are the carbide hammer drill bits from Milwaukee. I'm using a 1/4 inch, and the Swisstrax Treadware actually comes with these anchors right here. I ended up picking a whole bunch of them up. I actually got a little bit shorter since I didn't think this length, I don't know how long this is, maybe 3 inches or so. These are 1.5 inch length. I think this is totally fine. I've already used this on the one that's already in there now, and these hold just fine. I just didn't think it was necessary for such a large concrete anchor. So this is all you need: a hammer drill, a normal drill with a 1/4 inch proper concrete bit, and you're going to need some of these concrete anchors. These are the ones I got red heads, seem to be doing the job. You need a 1/4 inch. So let's go ahead. Let's start installing it. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it and just how easy it is and how much better it actually is for the entrance of the garage. All right, so here's a little bit closer look at the one that I already did. So as you can see, the transition is so much smoother, and the drop off here, the coming into the garage, is pretty steep. So having this just makes it so much smoother, much nicer. And if you also notice, the hardware that I used as the normal concrete anchors that I was showing you, but I ended up painting them black just so they blend into the treadware much better. They're not just some ugly silver chrome standing out. And I'm really happy that I decided to do that. So I just used some black touch-up paint, and it came out really nice. So we're going to go ahead and match them up, do exactly what I did on this side. I'm going to show you how to drill it out and just kind of how to install it, and then we can continue on. Now this side, I'm actually going to have to cut one of these to length. So when we get there, I'll show you just how to do that. But let's go ahead and install the middle one right here. All right, so what we're going to do is simply just lay it down in position to kind of get an idea of where it's going to go. Now, each side is a little bit different length. I use the shorter side up on the garage here and the longer side right here down towards the slope. Now, whatever your entrance is and whichever works for you, that's the way you should do it. But for me, I found this way to work the best. So simply just going to line it up with the one that I already have there. Pretty much like that, and then I'm just going to drill a hole on this edge and then on that edge as well, all the way at the end, to kind of position it into place. And then I can go ahead and put the 3 more in the center to anchor it down much nicer. But really simple. As you can see, it makes the entrance and overall the whole garage look more complete, plus holds everything into place really nicely. So what I'm going to do now is actually drill out the initial hole through the actual treadware here. and then through the edge piece of the Swisstrax. And then once I actually hit the concrete, I'll switch over to the hammer drill over here, and then we can drill down with the 1/4-inch bit and then get the anchors in. So let's go ahead, let's drill it out and get started. All right, now I'm going to take my hammer drill and drill straight into the concrete, probably about up to here, just to make sure I get a nice deep hole for the concrete anchor to sink into. I'm going to take one of my anchors and simply just place it in the hole I just made. I usually like to take the nail out so I can hammer it in just a little bit to get it nice and flat, or as flat as possible, and then I put the nail in. And then I go ahead and take the nail, then hammer it in. Now I'm simply just going to do exactly what I did here. Then we can go ahead and put the middle ones in to add more security. Go ahead and touch them up with paint, just like I did over here, to make it nice and clean. You guys are going to probably freak out since it's so close to the carbon lip on the STI, but I'll be careful. All right, so we went ahead, we got this installed. Now I just need to install this piece, which is just laying here for the moment. That's about how much I need to cut off. So I don't know, a good 6-7 inches or so. I'm gonna go ahead and do that tomorrow, but as you can see, everything is installed very, very nicely, very clean. It matches up nicely with the other piece. Looks a nice smooth transition. So all I gotta do is kind of clean it up with the some of the concrete dust, and then paint the bolts as well. So as you can see the bolts here, but if you come over here, can't see them at all. looks much cleaner with them painted. So I'm gonna go ahead and touch them up with some black paint, and then I'll catch back up with you tomorrow when we're working on this side. All right, so this one is done. I got everything painted up. Looks great. So what I'm gonna do is actually let the paint dry on the bolts overnight. I'm gonna let my batteries charge up for tomorrow, since it kind of rips through batteries pretty quickly. I need the larger batteries. If you do have them when you're doing this, I definitely recommend them. But I just have these smaller ones for the drills, but it gets the job done when I have 3 of them. So I always have at least 2 charged, so I'm able to get through no problem. But I figure now's a good time to stop since it's getting late and the drill is pretty loud, and I don't want to annoy the neighbors too much. But yeah, it looks great. I'm really happy with the decision to paint the bolts. I think it looks way cleaner, way nicer. So you can kind of see the transition looks much better. I'll get you better shots in the daytime tomorrow, but here's what it looks like before. It's kind of super aggressive, doesn't look as finished, where over here looks much better, much more finished, and much cleaner in my eyes. So I'll catch back up with you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, so it is the next day. As you can see, everything is all dried up. Looks really good. Really happy with that. Now we need to actually put this side on. So as I mentioned, I need to cut this to length. So I need to cut about 6 or 7 inches off. I'm going to measure everything up, cut everything. I don't have an angle grinder, which is the tool that I wish I had to cut this. So I do have a circular saw, so we'll see if it gets through it. If it doesn't, then we're gonna have to figure out a different solution. But for now, let's get everything measured up and ready to actually mount. All right, so we ended up cutting 5 1/8 inch off for a 13-foot wide door, and it actually fits perfectly. So really happy with that. Ended up using a hacksaw just because that's what I had and it was working pretty well. Cut through this pretty quickly. So if you don't have an angle grinder or any type of power tool, you can just use a hacksaw and it gets through it, no problem. And the line is actually really straight. Just mark your line and everything, and it came out pretty decent for a hacksaw. Plus this side's going in the corner over there, so it's not too big of a deal if you do kind of get a little messy. But yeah, not bad. So if we line it up here, so as you can see, perfect fit, and that's going to go into the Swisstrax right there, and it's going to line up perfectly. So let's go ahead, we'll start drilling out the holes and get this project complete. Alright guys, so we got this side installed. All I gotta do is just touch up the hardware with the black. But overall, so happy with how this looks. I mean, if we come back, you notice I actually moved the STI back a little bit just to avoid any issues when I was hammering everything in. But looks so good, really clean. I love how this turned out. Looks so much cleaner, the entrance, and it's gonna be that much easier to get up into the garage without slamming into the little edge here. It's gonna make it nice and smooth. So, all right, let me go ahead, touch these up with some black touch-up. It's actually the same touch-up as my truck, and then we can wrap this project up. All right guys, so we are finished. Everything looks great. Really happy with the finished product. I ended up painting the bolts or the hardware over here as well, so everything looks nice and clean. I'm gonna go ahead and wash up the truck. It has been a while since I've been able to clean it. So if anybody has any questions at all about the Swisstrax Treadware, about their process, how to install it, or anything like that, please let me know. All of the products that I use, I'll leave them in the description below, so if you're interested in doing this yourself, you can go ahead and just use the links. But that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple. I'll catch you guys in the next one.